Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Two Beasts again here, and I'm legitimately a little bit concerned about the UFC women's divisions. Now, maybe I'm tripping, maybe, I'm making a bigger thing out of nothing. I don't know. But what I want to do is I want to essentially read off a few stats, right? And I want to kind of gauge what other people might feel about it. You know what I mean? Because maybe I'm just the only one, and full disclosure, you feel what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily here to complain. I'm really here as someone who's curious and confused as well as concerned, legitimately. Because after I read off these numbers, it's going to be like, oh, okay, that is a bit weird, right? All right, so without further ado, we got October 29th was the last card that didn't have any women's fight scheduled on it, right? This was give or take about a little over a month ago, right? Now, once again, UFC 282 coming up this Saturday, no fights, not even scheduled, not even planned to be on the card, just flat out, nothing scheduled for the women, right? Same thing with October 29th. Now, keep that in mind. So, October 29th, and now, December 10th, no women's fight scheduled. This is in less than a month and a half, less than 45 days in between, where we have two events that don't even have a single women's fight scheduled, right? Now, this is courtesy of Tapology. I feel as though their reporting of events and information revolving around events is pretty accurate. So I've seen throughout my time as an MMA fan. So if you go back starting from October 29th's fight card, forgive me, I don't have the exact names of the fight cards specifically, but whatever fight card happened on October 29, 2022, if you start from there and you go back 104 fight cards, I did that because that represents 2 years. 52 times 2 is 104. So essentially, you got 2 years worth of fight cards if you go back 104. And it's going to be inevitably more than that because some weeks UFC take off. You feel what I'm saying? So, but I went back 104 fight cards on Tapology. 81 fights, approximately, give or take one or two. 81 fight cards, starting from October 29th, going all the way back. 81 fight cards had at least one female fight scheduled on it. Now, if you do the math on that, obviously you're talking 52 and then 81. So you got a year and 29 weeks worth of fight cards where at least one female fight was scheduled on it and actually occurred. Now, once you get to around 81, there's a fight card where they had a female fight scheduled, but it fell through, right? And then you go back down to the 86th fight card, coming from October 29th, 2022. There was another situation where they had a female fight scheduled, but it fell through. I think it's because Priscilla Cachoeira, if I'm not mistaken, missed weight. I think I saw that somewhere in the notes, but I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. So then we go to 86, and then going all the way back to 104, every single fight card had a female fight scheduled, and it actually occurred. It didn't fall through. So we're talking 104 fight cards. This is 2 years. This is over 2 years. It goes all the way back to June, I believe it's June 27th, 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it goes all the way back to that point. 104 fight cards. Every single one of them at least had one female fight scheduled for that fight card. Now you're talking over the course of 104 weeks, over that, more than that, right? And now in less than 6 or 7 weeks, we have two fight cards that didn't have a single female fight scheduled. Now, like I said, maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe, I'm just overly concerned. Maybe I just love women's MMA too much and I should just get over it and just watch the men or whatever. But to me, considering how 145 has been, over the past year or so, and considering how bantamweight has even been, where it's not, you don't see a whole new influx of talent coming in as frequently as, per se, like a 125 and a 115. You feel what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel as though, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm starting to feel as though building up and ultimately giving a shit about the 135 and 145 and women's divisions in general potentially could be on a decline. Maybe I'm wrong, whatever. I'm okay with being wrong. But I kind of have that feeling that 135 and 145 is clearly not a priority. Maybe I'm wrong. And then ultimately, maybe they tried to put a female fighter two for the card and it never even got close to materializing. And they were like, maybe there were no women available for those dates. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not the one who's in contact with these fighters and in the know of what their schedules and what their health looks like and their availability ultimately looks like. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know these things, but for whatever reason, we go from 104 straight times where we booked the female on a card to twice in less than 7 weeks. I don't know. That to me is a little bit strange, especially considering the upward trend of more and more women wanting to participate in the sport. I doubt there's a shortage of willing, competitors. But then again, I don't know. I just think it's a bit concerning. That's just me personally. You feel what I'm saying? But hey, I'm not the one booking things. I'm not the one in charge. It is what it is, I guess. Maybe someone could enlighten me, but in my personal opinion, was nobody available? Was nobody willing? I don't know. I guess that's up to speculation. What do y'all think? It's two beasts.